Alright, when you're ready to get started with the calligraphy process, you need to have all of your materials ready. So first you want to have your ink. I have some gold ink, white, and black, and you need to put them in some small containers to be able to dip them in. I have these little fruit cups, but a little pill box will work fine. You also need to have a little cup of water for cleaning, some paper towels also for cleaning. You need to have nibs of various sizes and your handles for the nibs. Alright, so what you're going to do first is you're going to take your handle and you're going to pick out which nib that you want, depending on the size of the letters or your decorative letter that you want the lines to be. So there are really thick sizes that make really thick lines, and there are also nibs that have very small pointed sides that make really small lines. So I'm going to go with this one, and the way you put it in is you're going to take your handle and you're going to hold it in one hand and take the nib and hold it in the other, and you're going to find the circle and just push it in. Alright. So next we're going to be dipping our nib into ink. Now when you dip your nib into ink, you want to dip it to where the well, which is this small hole right here, is filled. You don't want to go much past that because it's going to be very hard to clean the handle. So when you dip it, I'm going to use my gold. I gotta shake it up a little bit just to get all the gold in there. I'm just going to tip it over so I can reach to that well, dip it in, and let it come out. And then I'm just going to scrape the sides to make sure I get all of my excess out. Now you can see that the well is fully filled with the ink. So next, when using your calligraphy pen, you're going to trace over your letters, and in calligraphy, all the brush strokes that go down, you apply more pressure. All the other brush strokes, you don't apply as much pressure. So, every once in a while, you're going to have to get more ink, and that's when your well is empty, and you just re-dip. Fill up that well and brush off the excess. So I'm going to start with the word sleet, apply a little bit more pressure when I'm going down, just to get that nice calligraphy strokes. You always want to work left to right if you are right-handed, and right to left if you are left-handed. This way your hand does not get into the ink and make a smudge. I'm going to re-dip and swipe. And another thing is that your well opens up to make thicker lines. So when I apply more pressure, you can see that it makes bigger lines. So if you want smaller lines, you only apply a little bit of pressure. If you want really big lines, you need more ink. If you want big lines, you add a lot of pressure. And this is because of, I'm going to clean it so you can see. You can see right here with the well, if I apply pressure, you can see the little forks at the end opening up. And this is to let out the ink and to the desired size that you want. So if you want big lines, more pressure, small lines, less pressure. Now cleaning your nibs, you're always going to clean your nibs if you're done with your work, or even if you're going to take a break. So if you're going to take a break, and let's just say you have ink on your nib, you're going to dip it in water, wipe it off, re-dip in water, and then wipe it off again carefully with your paper towel. This way that, this is so that the nib, the ink won't dry on the nib like this one. You can see that the ink has dried on it, and it's hard to clean and also can later on cause rust and will decay faster than this nib, which is a clean nib and it will last longer. So then if you're completely done for today, you need to re-dip it, and you need a little bit of soapy water just to make sure it's completely clean, and you're going to wipe it off again with your paper towel and then pull the nib out of your holder and place it back with the rest of the nibs.